up, you guys? This is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on Hashtag Confirmed, we're going to be digging into Devstream 125 to take a peek at all of the beautiful, wonderful that is coming to Warframe very soon. However, before we dig into this, I did have something that I wanted to go ahead and share with you. Alrighty, so initially I was going to show you guys the TennoCon 2019 pack that includes an armor as well as an emote and all of that kind of good stuff. However, it seems like something has gone a bit awry with the delivery, so instead I wanted to go ahead and take this time to remind you about the fact that we do have a Twitch drop this weekend and next weekend to go along with the current event that we have live, which I believe right now is double credits, and next weekend will be double resources. So if you guys are curious about this at all, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. But this week's Twitch drop is going to be the Hang Tenno Scrawl weekends Twitch drop, just the weekend, not the entire week. So as you can see, you can obtain this by watching a partner kill an Oxium Osprey. It'll actually be marked on the map and have a little purple glow with it to go along with the whole Twitch theme. And then the following weekend, March 22nd through 24th, we will have a Charger as the Twitch monster. So again, we're going to be looking for that purple glow monster, and you'll actually get the Puppeteer Scrawl. And as you can see, it's got Space Mom looking evil AF puppeteering our little operator butts. I cannot wait until Nora Knight comes through and becomes the replacement, because I need a little bit of peace and serenity in my life, not any of this evil witchery. Okay, so with that out of the way, it is officially Devstream time. Now, unfortunately, Miss Rebecca Ford was feeling a little bit under the weather. I hope she feels better soon. However, we didn't get that normal dump truck of information that we usually get, but there were still a lot of goodies to go ahead and take a look at. Now, appropriately, we're going to start things off with a little bit of a Nyx Deluxe update. Now, in a previous dev stream, they did show us an in-game render of her, and she is looking absolutely fantastic. Skyers is killing it as always, but we did get to take a look at the deluxe weapon skin that is coming along with her, which is actually going to be for a shotgun. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this thing looks really fucking sick. I love the little pipes that kind of come out of the sides. Hopefully there's some cool energy effects that are tied into that, but they did say that this might be specific to the Tigris. I'm hoping that they change their mind about that and make it widespread across all of the shotguns, because we got some ugly ass shotguns. Sobek needs a skin, please. Heck, as much as I love the classic Heck and it brings me way back in the day, it could use some prettying up, because it looks like it's been beat with the ugly stick several times over. So hopefully that is something that they go ahead and make available for everything. Now, something that I'm very, very excited to have a vested interest, and when I say vested interest, I mean like maniacal craving, is the new hair that they're going to release for male operators. Now, if you remember way back in the day when operators first launched, we got some hurt hair. Now, this is looking like the next freaking generation of hair, and I am absolutely loving it. Hopefully that's not the only style that they release, and they come up with a couple different variations of it, because it's looking good, and I almost wish that they would do a pass on some of the old hair to kind of like bring it up to this quality. Can't wait. I hope to see it sooner than later. Now, something else that I would rather see sooner than later that oh my god, my mind is melting, and this is something I've been talking about for a while. Now, we said it on the last dev stream that they are working on a dual energy tone, that they're going to create a secondary channel for energy colors that you'll be able to use. This is often seen on many of the deluxe skins. If you just use the default coloration on them, all of their energy effects will actually have multiple tones. So they're actually able to split this into the two different channels, and what they're going to do is tie it into Forma. So if you Forma a Warframe, you'll automatically get that second energy color channel. Now, for things like Syandanas that don't require any kind of Forma whatsoever, you're always going to have that secondary energy color. However, on your base Warframe, once you slot that Forma in, boom, energy color appears. And they didn't do the greatest job showing it off, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, so I highly suggest you stay tuned to a future Dress to Kill, where we go ahead and take a look at some awesome energy color combinations. I cannot wait for that. Please bring it next main line ASAP. Alright, so moving along from that, we also got to take a look at Wisp, or maybe not so much of a look at Wisp because of the fact that they showed off a bit of a bug that happened on the previous dev stream. Now, as you guys know, many of y'all were a fan of the assets Wisp was toting. However, there was a bit of a bug that actually occurred with the usage of her alt helm. Now, her alt helm unfortunately didn't have two pieces of cloth that were supposed to be attached to it, which kind of hid the booty just a little bit. And apparently some people were, I guess, put off by the booty. Now, listen, I'm not put off by the booties whatsoever. It's just a Warframe, so I'm not going to be, you know, feeling personally attacked by it, as long as the men get equal representation. And, you know, we got Ninja Deluxe, so I don't feel so bad about the booty game on the men's. But I am saying that they actually went ahead and showed it off in game, how it kind of like covers that back end. And I guess that's going to be a theme with Wisp's helmets, because the primary helmet also has this cloth that kind of goes around the neck and drapes down the back end as well. So she's always going to get a little bit of booty coverage from that. But I'm very curious from you guys, and do your best to keep it civil, I guess. I don't really feel like this is going to be something to argue off of, but how do you feel about the Wisp exposed booty? Was it too much? Were you offended? Was it trashy? Was it bad? Or maybe you're okay with it, but maybe one of your friends wasn't? Leave that down in the comments below, because my mind is a little bit like, who really cares? It's just Warframe ass. It's not really that big a deal. Moving along, something they did show instead of hide was Wisp's signature weapon. Now this thing, I'm not good at like names of guns, because gun things don't like, it's like, I'm thinking it's a pump action rifle. It looks like it has like a butt, you know, the butt, like an extended butt that kind of hits you at the shoulder and you go like this. I don't know if that's what the gun is called, but it looks like it could also double as some sort of big, like, hockey stick, because it's like a thick pole looking thing. So I don't know, maybe you could beat down enemies with it at the same time. Looks really interesting, very, very pretty as well. And in addition to that, they showed off the, what is it called? The customization bundle that is also going to be coming along with her, and it's a cat bundle! Now, as many of you guys know, her alternate helmet does look a little bit feline, but they're actually going to tie her into cats just a little bit more via the usage of the cat's customizations that are going to come along with it. I'll be honest with you, when I saw this in the kind of like art that they did for it, very, very pretty, but when I saw the kind of in-game renders, it looked a little bit odd, but I'm assuming that as soon as they get some texture and some flow to the material, it's going to look a lot better. So I'm definitely excited to see Wisp in game. I don't know when they're going to end up dropping her, because we literally just got Hildren, but hopefully it's sooner than later. The more Warframes, the merrier, right? Now, speaking of more Warframes, we're going to get into the thing that a lot of people have been waiting for, and I even questioned myself, because we haven't been talking about this, but Equinox Prime, they went ahead and dropped it on us and showed us exactly what she's gonna look like, the two different forms that she has, as well as the merge, and then the two weapons that are going to be coming along with her in Prime Access, as well as the Prime accessory. So there's a lot to go over. So the merged form, of course, is gonna look pretty damn good. And to be honest with you, I don't really pay as much attention to the merge form, because I spend most of the time in day and night anyway. So in the day form, which I found really interesting, they made dark. Like, it was a dark navy blue that they went in this white, and it looked like a minotaur. Like, the horns came up, and it was just very, very intense. I really loved it. I love that, like, ominous, looming feeling that the day form gave, which I'm kind of confused about. And then night form was like super duper light, and it looked a little bit like a ram, and it had like the downturned horns that like flipped out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be honest with you, the helmets are really where it shines. And I think on the day form there was like a cool like chest piece that like came down. I was like, very, very cool, very excited for all of that. But what they went ahead and showed off along with it is they had a syandana. So a syandana and armor set are going to come with the accessories. The syandana is like this starburst that's kind of mounted on the back. Then it flows out into a cape, because you know DE got to do them big ass capes every single time. However, the cape was actually split in half. So one side is night, one side is day. And I need you guys to take a look at this real quick, because I don't know if I'm crazy, but like some of the center dividing fabric, it almost looked like this had this shimmer to it, which was like maybe like an energy pulse. Am I nuts? Is it just the fabric itself? Was it just happened to be like a silk texture there, but nowhere else that didn't create that same pulsey effect? I think there's gonna be an energy pulse in the fabric. At least that's what it looked like to me. Now, when it came to the armor set, you can see I did a dramatic pause there. I think this is one of the few armor sets that I'm like, I don't know about this one. This is actually a very fabric-based armor set, and Rebecca showed it off on Korra. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Of course, I'm always going to reserve judgment until I see it in game, once I get my hands on it, play around with it a little bit. But from what I saw, it was a little droopy, it was a little floppy. When I think armor, I want something a little bit more static. And if it's going to have flowy things, I'd rather have like a ribbon coming off the side of it, rather than it itself being a little floppy. So I'll just have to see it in game for now. I'm not super impressed with the armor. Syandana is not bad, but as you guys know, I will most likely be picking up primed access. So we'll get you eyes on that as soon as we get a chance. Now, the next thing that I wanted to go ahead and bring up are the two weapons that are going to be coming up with this prime access, which is the Stradivar Prime and the Tipedo Prime. Both weapons that we have been waiting on, and I have to say, I saw the Stradivar Prime and I was like, this looks good. This looks really, really good, but as y'all know, the Stradivar Prime's big mechanic was the fact that it could swap between a like a single shot mode and a full auto mode. However, Tipedo Prime was released and it had 3 different modes: a burst fire, a single fire, and then a full auto. So I'm like, what are you gonna do, Stradivar Prime? You got your weave snatched by the Tipedo Prime. If you gonna be valid, you're gonna need to come back with a vengeance. Now, one of the things that I'm going to mention here is that DE said that the stats that you see on screen could just be placeholder stats. You know, they're not anything to be taken seriously and may change in the future. However, the stats that I saw, I was kind of underwhelmed with. So from what I saw, the critical multiplier and the base damage went up on the primary, and then the secondary got a big accuracy boost and a little bit of a crit chance boost. Now, part of me was like, that's a lot of accuracy. I was like, I think it's 66 points of accuracy on it. I was like, that's almost sniper-like. Maybe they're trying to make this Grimlock-esque, or they might go full sniper on it. So I'm curious for you guys. Let me know what you think the Stradivar has to do in order to compare to the Tipedo Prime, or maybe even beat out the Tipedo Prime. Because right now, what I'm seeing, I'm like, you're pretty, but that's about it. Moving on to something that's not so pretty is the Tipedo Prime. If I'm gonna be honest with you, it looks like a big fucking paddle. It just looks like a big, thick paddle. Now, for me, the Tipedo has always been a little bit more slender. Like, the Tipedo still looks like a paddle, let's be real, but it looks a little bit more slender, a little bit more delicate. This made it thick, like it was a thick one. And the stats on it, the original stats are 20-20, so 20 status, 20 crit. On the Prime variant, there is a 24 status, 24 crit, a 2.4 times multiplier. Now, its attack speed did go down a little bit. As you guys know, the Tipedo is known for having an insane attack speed of like 1.33, something like that. But its attack speed has gone down to 1.17, something along those lines. But you can tell by the spin attack and leap attack that its base damage has gone up to kind of like compensate for that. So let me know how you feel about the Tipedo. Does it look like a paddle to you? Are you kind of like, it's looking a little thick and maybe not thick in the greatest way? Regardless. Speaking of thick and thick in a great way, they also went ahead and showed off the Atlas Deluxe skin while they were kind of running around in the plains. Now, I talked a lot of shit about the Atlas Deluxe skin before because it did not look very good to me, but it's actually looking like it's getting better. I'm like, okay, this might be something we could fuck with. Like, some of the textures on it are a little bit better. The inside part of the geode is looking really, really good. So I don't know what moves they're making with that one, but that one did look fantastic. And then last bit, they had a bit of a discussion towards the end where they took some questions from the forums. And I think one of the things that they mentioned was they're getting rid of mod packs. Yay! That's all I really have to say about that. But that does about do it for this episode of Hashtag Confirmed. Let me know how you guys feel about everything that you've seen. Are you super excited about Wisp? Are you sad about the, like, covered up booty? How do you feel about Equinox Prime? It should be coming very, very soon. Are you guys jazzed about it? I know there are a lot of Tipedo fans out there. I know you guys have been clamoring for it. I feel like there are less Stradivar Prime fans out there, though. Let me know in the comments below. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.